Moonshine, moonshine, moonshine on me, I need the light so I can stumble home. I've been sampling my latest batch, it's dark and I'm alone. Help me make it to my shack where I will promise you my lips will never touch another drop of that wicked devil brew. Well, I reckon that you helped me, 'cause I'm standing by my door. Now I'm staring at the ceiling from my pine wood cabin floor. My cabin, she's a-spinning much too fast to fall asleep. And it's now I'll make a promise, one that I intend to keep. My lips will never touch a drop of that wicked devil brew. I'll blast it all with dynamite like the revenuers do. My shining days are over 'cause you helped me out tonight.
Here's a pretty simple one-hand striker method with a metal match or ferro rod or whatever you want to call it. Behind the knee, you can slide this on like that. Metal match. Split. Might take a couple tries, but that's pretty simple. And I'm using the blades because the saw, or the one-hand metal match striking. Alright, under the boot, pretty simple. Just hold it down. Put your tinder, natural or otherwise, right at the base of that. And it's almost as good as you're doing. Almost as good as you're doing it with two hands. The other method, get a cotton ball out here, running through these things like crazy. And one of my favorite, put it behind the knee. You could put a board or bark with your tinder just under that. Alright. Put your tinder under there. Down near the edge. Fluff it up. And pull them shits like it's no tomorrow. Fix the edge. Can't fix hypothermia. Sound like Cody. So there's that simple method. Done. I'm moving a lot. Too much. So getting a good spark like that. Gobs of goodness, as they say. Whatever. Anyways, okay, here's one method. See this a lot, and only amendment I can make to that is if you put your thumb here, support the blade, piece of cotton. Alright, here's a couple of one-hand method metal match striking techniques. standard, pretty long. Here's the new one. These are pretty standard in survival training with the military. So they're set on the boot like that. You can put your tinder material underneath that, and you get a shot of that, and that's done. Alright, this is just cotton balls for the demo. I'm going to stomp it out actually because I'm running kind of low on those. Out cold. Alright, fluff it up. All that stuff you do with one hand. Different blade, same idea. Done. Alright, again, just using cotton balls for the demos. I'm pretty savvy with natural tenders, but I just wanted to show a couple of these techniques. Another one, piece of bark, slab of wood, piece of wreckage, whatever you got, make a sandwich. Alright, put this a little more down towards the end. You can probably see this coming. And behind the knee, metal match, done. Alright, that in your fire, get your knife out of there, and it's a done deal. So there's 3 techniques right there. There's a lot more. I'm going to do them as I can. And it's up to your imagination and your need. I'm going to use 2 hands on this, but I'm going to show some examples of strikers that you could use. If you have a big sharp edge on a rock, say this is fixed, alright, you can draw this across there, especially this flint type rock. Obsidian, piece of broken bottle, glass, anything works excellent. Again, using this, I'm not too worried about ruining the edge because the survival knife has a sharpening stone in it, and I usually carry a small piece of sandpaper so I could fix that up, but I can't fix hypothermia. Hate to sound like Cody, but that's the truth. So there's that. Like I said, it didn't do any damage to my edge. I struck right there, and still getting some. Example, but you're tracking, I'm sure. Anything, a file, anything that gets some bite into this is good. It does not have to be stainless, or it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have to be carbon steel. That's a whole different ball game. That's flint and steel. It's, like I said, stainless pair of tweezers, junky ones from first aid kit. Sandpaper. I don't know if that's gobs or whatever. That's a lot of sparks that'll light your tinder. Files are great. These will be in survival kits, and if they're not, they should be in yours, or your bushcraft kit for taking care of your axe and some of your flint knives possibly. Flint knives or flint edges, again, they work great. One hand technique, you can brace this down, putting your tinder up behind the blade, and you get a spark. Alright, your tinder's up in your palm, so you gotta get rid of it pretty quick or you'll burn yourself. Different saws. I used to use this for years because it seemed to make crazy sparks, and then I didn't affect my saw or my knife edge at all. Screwdrivers, can openers, they to get an incredible bite. Stainless, ceramic, whatever you got, they're going to work. Using that back edge is good. Be careful though, because it's a non-lock knife and it can close in your hand, so you got to just don't even hold the handle to hold the blade. So little things like that, either you learn and never do it again, or you never learn and do it all the time. So everybody knows how to do that, so I'm not going to get too crazy there. But just a few techniques. Again, my favorite, holding the behind the knee and pulling the metal match. That's as good as it gets. Anything I do to the edge, I'm going to be able to fix. I'm not worried about that. I want to get a fire up. I got a broken arm. Now I'm going to freeze because I can't work the way I usually work. Lots of edges on here. A lot of you know it's one of my favorite type blades because it's like a flint knife. A lot of edges on this, and a lot of different edges I could use for different things. So, same thing here. Use the saw blade with the little mini tracker, full-size tracker. You can even hook some tinder up in there if you want, and some saw teeth, or I like to call them a braider. There it is. It fell, but it lit, so again, that's all I need. You got these strikers. That's all fine and dandy, but I'd rather replace that with a little common piece. Well, I guess common. If you have these are called, it's a motor that basically floats on air, so you can use that for different tasks. So that's a good thing if you find common things like that work. You can pack them in. It doesn't weigh that much. Multi-purpose blade. So, anyways, there's that. And files, excellent. Anything will work. Anything with an edge. These different size metal matches. In my opinion, I believe they're all the same thing. They come from a mine in China. It's a bunch of weird metals that I can't pronounce the names of, and I call them metal matches. There's nothing really magic to them other than they make a bunch of sparks, and I'm not sure the science behind it. There's another good striker, your daily knife. Alright, I use this little beak right here because I don't really use that for anything else. And like I said, if I need to get a fire up, I'm scraping on the edge. I'm not going to be afraid about doing that. The backs of these abraders or saw backs or things like that, these tips that are sharpened on the tip are great. Even broken bolt knives, I've seen this handguard used, and I think that's brass. I'm not positive. No, actually, this one's steel. I'm not sure, but I've seen these flattened off sharp to where they could be used as a metal match scraper. You can get a good scrape of these clips on. And I'm probably going to have to demo that because I might get asked. I'm not sure. Not a lot of people ask me stuff, but just to cover my bases. That could probably be sharpened a little more in a better angle so you can see it, but it's making some good spark. So again, you're not using your edge if you're worried about that. I'm not really. Like I said, if I need to get a fire up, I'm getting a fire up. So there's a few, I guess 3. Do a couple more. This is one of the most common ones. I did the stomp, or hold it down with your foot style. Just holding it like this is just as good. You need a little bit more control so you don't throw your tinder. But one of the ways I found to defeat that, put it on the side, and put it towards the boot. Put your tinder under your boot, and you got to have yourself or a buddy watch that, because it's called a hot foot technique for a reason. Let's see, we'll get one right there. Another thing, real quick, try to get this real quick. I almost carve on the spark kit. It doesn't just hit your tinder, it hits that little chunk and it burns. So there's just a few techniques that I've kind of come across and hope they're helpful to you. Again, just a lot of different little knives, edges, just anything with a sharp edge is going to work. Probably, I wouldn't doubt if some hardwoods would work, or some bamboos to strike one of these things. So don't have any anxiety about it. They're going to strike, you just have to have a sharp edge. That's all there is to it. Alright, later. Alright, we talked about putting the edge behind the leg. This is just one that I kind of narrowed it down to that works very well. There is a chance that you can burn your pants. If you're worried about that, put some insulating material or a piece of wet bark over the top of this, and then do your scraping a little more controlled, like that. Using your thumb really helps. Alright, but it's almost, I said, as good as using two hands. Alright, blade, any blade. There's the store. Here's the little scout one. Alright, and put that board with your tinder right back behind your knife. Sandwich the tinder in the middle between the blade. Tinder here, blade, use the edge. Do this one more time. Alright, and it's pretty relaxed too, you're not really fighting nothing. It's lit. Move your sandwich to your fire and get her going. So I'm going to leave it there. Again, just use your imagination. Practice right, left hand, left, right foot, all kinds of combos. I've seen guys sitting a metal match on a butt cheek and striking it with one hand and getting it done. So come up with some funny names. Some of them I can't say here, but hope you enjoyed this little deal. I'll have a lot more later as time permits. So thanks again for watching. This is Mr. Black, Operational Extras YouTube channel. So long. Put that in your book. Okay, this was the product of joking around and doing challenges. So again, just holding your tender in here. It was made for it, and it shoots it right into there. So yeah, you burn your sheath a little bit, but it's good fun. So hope you enjoy this. Take care. Operational Extras YouTube channel out.